gives apostolic blessings. Can you give apostolic blessings, John Henry? Can I? That's reserved to the Pope alone. So what's going on here? And what it is again, Ratzinger has published many times his view, his ecclesiology. Maybe the best way of putting this is to explain it this way. Among the innovations of Vatican II, one of the major innovations was when Vatican II said that bishops, when they are consecrated, when they receive the sacrament of ordination, not only do they receive the power to, confect the sacraments for the faithful, which the Church always taught, but Vatican II said something different, said something new. They said that bishops, when they get consecrated, they also receive, through the sacrament, the power to teach and to govern. Now, for 800 years, that was thought to be something that is given to the bishop from the Holy Father. In other words, it's something called missio canonica, or canonical mission. And it's a grant of jurisdiction which gives you the power to govern. Now, Benedick, in a book that was published the year after the council, it's called Theological Insights of Vatican II. In that book, Benedict Joseph Ratzinger goes to great lengths to explain that the council has moved past this medieval concept where there's an office given to you whereby you can govern the church, which is a separate power from the power that's given to you when you're made a bishop, you see. What Ratzinger, and he's not alone in this. In fact, maybe the best way of explaining this, if you don't mind, I'll quote a friend of both of ours, Dr. Roberto Di Mattei, who actually has taken issue with Ratzinger on this, and I think he explains it better than I can. Roberto Di Mattei says, Vatican Council II did not explicitly reject the traditional concept of power, potestas, but what they did was they used different language. They set it aside, replacing it with an equivocal new concept, that of munus. He says, Article 21 of Lumen Gentium, then, seems to teach that episcopal consecration confers not only the fullness of orders, but also the office of teaching and the office of governing. Whereas, in the whole history of the Church, the act of episcopal consecration has been distinguished from that of appointment, or of the conferral of the canonical mission. This ambiguity is consistent with the ecclesiology of the theologians of the council and post-council, and Di Mattei names them: Kanyar, Ratzinger, de Lubac, Balthasar, Rahner, Schillebeeckx, who presumed to reduce the mission of the Church to a sacramental function and scaling down its juridical aspects. And he finishes by saying this: Ratzinger distanced himself from tradition when he saw in the primacy of Peter the fullness of the apostolic ministry, linking the ministerial character to the sacramental. So let me put that in plain English. There's a school of thought in the Catholic Church which says that it's not the election of the Pope that gives him, or his acceptance of the election, that gives him his power. It is by virtue of the fact that he is consecrated a bishop. Because a layman, if canon law in fact says, if someone is a layman or a priest or a deacon and he's elected Pope, he must immediately be consecrated a bishop. Now, so there's this rift in the Church between those who say that the Pope gets his power by episcopal consecration and those who say no, he doesn't. But if Ratzinger is truly among those who say that the Pope gets it from episcopal consecration, well, as Professor Ghirlanda, the former head of the Gregorian University, points out, if he got it through Episcopal consecration, he can never lose it. Because what we receive through a sacrament, we never lose. You see? So that would explain, that would make perfect sense why he still wears white, still lives in the Vatican, still gives apostolic blessings, why his own companion, Archbishop Georg Ganswein, in a speech at the Greg in May 2016, said that Benedict, both before and after his resignation, still considers himself as participating in the Petrine Munus. He has not at all abandoned the office of Peter. What he has done is he has courageously renewed it.
Mm-hmm. And those are, by the way, I think those are direct quotes from Archbishop Ganswein, are they not?
They are, and this is the problem.